Okay, hopefully it's recording now. My name is Illya Popov, and I am interviewing today Dr. James Hamby for the associate position in the Writing Center at MTSU for Professor Laurel Stevens' interviewing course. Thank you for meeting with me, Dr. Hamby, today.
You're welcome. I'm happy to.
Yeah. Can I continue calling you Jim as we usually do?
Yes, you can call me Jim.
Great, because
Absolutely.
calling you Dr. Hamby is a bit awkward.
It's so formal.
Yeah, very much so. So I would just continue calling Jim. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, once again, thank you for taking the time out of your schedule for meeting with me today.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to begin with just kind of an easy question.
Okay.
The first question is just, what do you enjoy about your position at the Writing Center particularly?
I enjoy looking out in the center and seeing students learning because I feel like so much learning happens in the one-on-one environment that we create in the Writing Center that just can't always be replicated in classrooms. And I remember when I was a tutor, just sitting down in a session and seeing the aha moment that a student had and knowing that they were getting what you were trying to relate to them was just a very rewarding experience. So I like seeing all the learning that happens on a daily basis here in the center.
Absolutely. Before we continue, I did want to say that our meeting will be around no more than 30 minutes. And if there are any questions that you are not wanting to answer, feel free just to say to move on.
Okay.
Sounds good?
Okay, sounds
awesome.
good.
Yeah, so for your first question, the way you answered it, what would you say then your motivation is for your position here at the Writing Center?
Well, seeing those students learn and helping our tutors become professional and as professional educators or whatever else it is they want to do in their lives. Because I feel like the interpersonal skills that a tutor learns in the Writing Center are very useful and very transferable to any sort of vocation that they may go on to later on. So helping the students and helping the tutors, I see it as kind of like the two-pronged mission of the Writing Center.
Yeah, in other words, seeing both students and the tutors who also are, in most cases, are the students tutoring each other and both growing together.
Yeah, because the tutors are students too. All of the tutors are students at MTSU, and this is a part of your education as well.
Great, wonderful. Yeah. Since this is an interview about more information about the Associate Director position at the Writing Center, I wanted to switch gears slightly and just kind of tell me about your educational pathway experience that got you here to this position.
Okay, so I had my undergraduate is in history and English from UTC, and then I stayed at UTC to get my master's degree.
Okay.
I came to MTSU to get my PhD in English. So I received a graduate assistantship, and my first job for my assistantship was working in the Writing Center. It wasn't something that I had aimed to do, but I started working in the Writing Center, and I loved tutoring, and so I went through my PhD. I eventually was hired to be an FTT, which is a full-time temporary instructor. So I was teaching 10 classes a year, and then the assistant directorship position came open, and I got into that, and I was very happy to come back to the Writing Center because being an FTT is often a sad, lonely existence because I had my little broom closet office in Peck Hall, and I had an office mate, but other than that, I just wouldn't see very many other people. But I think we have a good sense of community in the Writing Center, and I really definitely. Absolutely, and I like being able to work in a team environment on those sorts of things. And my PhD, my concentration is in literature.
Okay.
But I love both literature and composition. I love being a part of both worlds. And,
Just to clarify, the UTC is University of Tennessee Chattanooga.
Correct. Yes.
That's in Chattanooga. Okay.
Yeah.
And you said that history and English was what you received for bachelor's, correct?
Yeah. I was a double major.
And then the Writing Center that you worked at was here at MTSU or another one?
It was here at MTSU.
It was here at MTSU.
Yes.
That you said that you didn't want to start working. It wasn't what you planned on, but you got roped into it.
Yeah, I mean, it was what I was assigned to for my assistantship.
Okay.
I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if you were doing English here at MTSU for your master's, correct? Is that what you said?
I did my master's at UTC.
Okay.
And then I came here for my PhD.
Okay, yeah. I'm just trying to keep all the degrees and all the acronyms, all that straight.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that I have it clear. So master's at UTC for history and English, and PhD here at MTSU for English.
Well, my master's was just in English.
Just in English.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Wonderful. Awesome. And what did you enjoy most about that, like that whole journey that you went through?
Just a lot of the different experiences, a lot of the different learning experiences that I had. Like I said, when I was an undergraduate, I was studying history and English.
Okay.
I also minored in anthropology to throw another discipline in there.
Interesting.
Then all the things I learned in my graduate programs, all the different literature classes, all the different pedagogy classes, all the different composition classes, and seeing how things connect across disciplines.
Yeah.
And I think that you can study literature and be an effective compositionist as well because of the way that you study the written word, whether it's composition or literature, it's going to be the same in a lot of ways. And the way that you study pedagogy, whether you're teaching a class or you're tutoring, you're still going to use a lot of the same skills and a lot of the same strategies in both arenas. So I think I just enjoyed all the different experiences that I had and having opportunities to kind of dip my toes in a lot of different waters.
Yeah, and you found what you loved the most out of all of that.
What have I loved the most out of all of it?
I'm just making a statement, and you found what you loved the most out of all of that.
I did, yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And pedagogy is a teaching style, correct?
Yeah, it's the theory of teaching.
Theory of teaching. Wonderful. Okay. So besides English, because you said that you went in for English during your whole educational career and literature and all the related kind of factors of writing. Mm-hmm. Besides English, what other fields of study could a potential applicant have going into your position?
Educational degrees, master's in education, and also EDD, and doctoral in education. That's what our former assistant director, Carrie Carter, got last year. She got her EDD. It could be in communications, and that's really about it. That's really about it.
Yeah. EDDs, communications, English.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and how does the communication degree go into the whole writing aspect of it?
They study a lot of the same things that English compositionists do. Audience awareness, just composing. They do a lot of writing and communications as well. So if someone had a degree in communications, they should be able to have a lot of the same strategies that you would have.
I found over my time here at the Writing Center and communication, I found that one of my favorite ways of communicating is actually through writing.
Yeah.
I enjoy composing emails. I enjoy just whenever I have to write something, I always enjoy taking that time, taking a paper from beginning to end and polishing it out to making it as perfect as it could be is the part that I enjoy of what the Writing Center, all the Writing Center offers here.
Yeah, absolutely. I enjoy that too, and there's a theory called writing to learn that as you write about things, that's a high impact way of learning about them because you do your own research, you gather a lot of different information, you sort it in your mind, then you figure out how to put it back out. So that's why writing is such an important part of education.
Yeah. What is the limited is not the right word, but the minimal requirements of working as a director or associate or assistant director at a writing center?
It varies from school to school.
Mm-hmm.
Most places require a PhD in order to be a director.
Okay.
And then a master's degree to be an associate director or an assistant director. But there are some writing centers where they even have graduate students who are serving as directors.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it's just, it depends on where you go.
Okay, yeah. Now, is it a requirement for whichever of the director positions an applicant may work at, is it a requirement for them to be a professor at the university as well?
Yeah, they're going to either be a faculty member or a staff member.
Okay.
So, for instance, I'm technically a staff member.
Staff member.
Yeah, I do adjunct in the English department, but my position here is a staff position.
Yeah, I visited one of your classes, as you remember.
Right, yeah.
For a presentation for the Writing Center.
Mm-hmm.
And this semester especially, I've seen a lot of your students come in here for tutoring experiences.
Right, you inspired them to come.
I hope that was the case,
Yeah.
because that was my first time presenting for the class visits for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Great, yeah, okay. Now, specifically, I know you mentioned that there was a director position, associate position, director position, and assistant director position.
Mm-hmm.
What specifically are your requirements, rather responsibilities and duties of the associate director position?
The biggest duty that's exclusive to my position is managing the funds, managing the money. I do all the labor budget and the discretionary budget, and I plan those things out. Whenever we need to order food for an event, or
Yeah.
whenever we need to order giveaways or something like that, I manage the funds, and then I fill out all the hiring paperwork as well. Beyond that, we really kind of split it up however we need to. Like, for instance, I used to write the schedule, and now our assistant director, Zabby, she's taken over the schedule. We just kind of divvy things up on a basis as we need to.
In other words, if you weren't here, then none of the tutors would get paid.
Right, it would be disaster.
It would be a disaster, yeah, okay.
Or someone else would do it.
So in other words, you handle the finances whenever wages, and also whenever you order food, but also you divvy up the responsibilities, whoever needs to do what, or whenever a director is available or not available.
Right.
Okay.
And we've always, with all the people who've been on all the positions, we've always tried to work collaboratively and make group decisions.
Yeah, it's a teamwork.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Just because the director is the director doesn't mean that the director doesn't rely upon you and the assistant director.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. Yeah. My next question would be is, maybe you have something to add, maybe you don't have to, but is there anything that you would caution a person away from this kind of position? In other words, what is it that you may say that an applicant may not enjoy about the position?
Well, in any aspect of academia, job security is a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And Zabby and I are not tenured, so I mean we're essentially line items on a budget. So our jobs could be ended at the discretion of someone else.
I see.
Having a tenure track position makes that a bit more secure. And also with any academic job, just getting your foot in the door is very difficult. For every one PhD who retires, there are 2 waiting to take their place.
Okay.
So a lot of people get PhDs and never get jobs in academia.
Yeah. So would you say then a lot of people tend to underestimate how difficult it is to get a job within academia in general?
Oh yeah. That's something that a lot of people try to caution graduate students about. And it's fine to get your master's degree, but if you want a PhD, you have to really consider if you want to spend 5, 6, or 7 years getting a very small stipend while everyone else your age is out working, and if you want to roll the dice and try to get a job in academia. And the other thing is, typically most people have to apply for jobs all over the country before they get hired.
You have to consider going out of state.
Yeah, you have to consider going out of state. So I got really lucky. I got hired in a place where I got my PhD, which isn't too far away from my family.
That's
in
good.
East Tennessee, but
In other words, you have to have a passion for doing this kind of job for you to be able to outweigh the costs over the benefits.
You really do. I tell people, like, only get a PhD if just doing anything else does not do it for you. If you have to do it, like if you can't see yourself doing anything else,
then go ahead and
do it.
Yeah, because this is one of the things I've enjoyed tutoring here 100%, and I know once I graduate, I'm going to miss it 120%.
Oh, we'll miss you too.
Yeah, and that's why I was curious about the kind of position that you have to see if I can go any further with it, which is why I'm here today, just kind of asking and more information about this jobs to see if I can consider going into it in the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're thinking about going into graduate school?
No,
No. Okay.
not currently. That's why I'm sitting here to you talking today,
Okay.
because in sometime in the future there might be a door open where I can go to graduate school.
Mhm.
But as of right now, I'm hoping to graduate and get away from education for a while.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now, how often do you get to tutor the clients yourself?
Usually only a couple of times a semester, and usually the only time I tutor is when, um, like someone's sick for the day and they had to call out. We don't have anywhere else to move it, but I always really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's hard. I feel like tutoring is one of those activities you kind of have to be on a roll. You can't just do it cold.
Yeah.
So the face-to-face sessions where I sit down, that's gonna still be a little bit scary. They can still make me a little bit nervous when I
Yeah.
sit down and knowing that everyone around can hear me.
Right.
Yeah, tutoring
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, and even the live chat ones too.
And even the live chat ones.
Although
too.
you have your nice fancy office here,
Yes.
so you don't have to worry about being overheard for the live
Yeah,
chats.
I can hide in here a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, no, okay. But how much do you miss tutoring clients?
I miss it every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like what I'm doing now, but I miss that, ability just to sit down with them
Yeah.
one-on-one. I still have my class that I teach, my 10-10 class.
Yeah.
And so I can scratch that itch
That's
that way.
HH
But
a
yeah,
little
yeah.
bit,
But
yeah.
but even in my 10-10 class, whenever I do a conference with my student, I sit down with them and I will do exactly what we do here during a tutoring session. I use those exact same skills.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
That's
I read
smart.
through the paper and everything and just treat it as a tutoring session.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. My final question to you would be, is there anything else that you can add to this interview that we haven't covered or you haven't talked about, or anything other of value that you're able to add to the discussion?
I think this is an incredible resource for our students. I like to say we're the premier writing center in the state because we do, I don't know that we do more appointments than say University of Tennessee, but
Yeah.
We do more than most others. We do a lot of different things. We have our Off Center Literary Magazine. We have 3 different types of appointments: Dr. Op, live chat, face-to-face. We have our discussion groups, the culture and conversation, and the creative writing. And we just do a lot of different things. And whenever I go to writing center conferences like SWCA Directors Day or Tutor Collaboration Day or the SWCA, which is the Southeastern Writing Center
Yeah.
Association Conference, people are always amazed by all the different things that we do. A lot of centers just have tutoring and that's it, but we do so many more
That's
things.
wonderful.
So I'm very happy about those. I'm very proud of all the things that we do.
Yeah, as a tutor on several occasions myself, I've heard clients come in and they say, I don't know why I never used this resource before.
Right, yeah, and I hear that all the time. And sometimes we'll get people who are seniors and say, I didn't even know about this.
Yeah.
We're out doing class visits and slinging bookmarks around and like
Yeah.
trying to shout it to our blue in the face. But so some people haven't heard about us.
Well, thank you very much, Jim, for your time. I think this has been a very informative and very useful discussion, not just for me, but I believe for others who want to pursue this kind of job.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for talking to me today.
Yeah, no problem. And thank you. I'm just going to try to see if I can end it without problems here.
Okay.